All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. All right, in this particular video, I want to touch on a video that you see on your screen right here. It says Red Alert, Insane Military Movement. Attack plan initiated. Iran begs for UN intervention, which Iran ain't begging. They're basically, they don't want to get attacked, but they're dishing out threats like, yo, if you attack us, we're going to hit every U.S. site across seas, man, that we can reach, man. Everyone is a valuable target. Not just that, we're going to bomb the shit out of Israel, which I got videos on that. All right. The modern, what do they call it? The mainstream media will have you believe that that little 12-day war that was between Iran and Israel left off like on a stalemate. They both was, bombing the hell out of each other. Nah, it was pretty much one-sided. That Iron Dome system from Israel that Israel has, man, that shit was not working, man. About 90+% of Iranian missiles was hitting their targets, and they really didn't even use the hypersonic ones. America had to step in, or Israel was going to get wiped off the fucking face of the earth. And this is why Benjamin Netanyahu, BB, not a Jew, came and was begging Trump like, yo, you got to intervene. Basically giving him that order like, yo, bro, you better intervene, bro. Niggas is like fucking us up. So I say all that to be like, they ain't begging, but they don't want to get hit either. And they also said if they get struck, I saw something that says they got evidence of of Trump grape juicing underage women and doing a whole bunch of other vile shit, and they will release it. So, things is heating up. There's, you can't tell where this is going to go, but you know what? Something big is about to happen in Salakia. My children downstairs, they just woke up. So please forgive me for that. But yes, I want to hop into this whole thing that's happening right now between Iran, Israel, and America. All right. These Iran nuclear deal talks, they're not going to, they're not going to yield any fruit, if I could say it like that. They were DOA, dead on arrival. And we've been saying that, because the true intentions of America is to bomb Iran and have a regime change. All right. They don't want Iran around. And plus, Iran, they say in 2 weeks they can make a nuclear missile if they actually wanted to. And also, information comes out that's neither here or there that says Iran possibly has a nuclear weapon already. But they say they don't want Iran to get a nuclear weapon because they're going to use it. On who? On Israel and on America eventually. But they're in active war with Israel, and they want Israel wiped off the face of the earth. They vowed to wipe Israel off of the face of the earth. Not just that. They chant death to America and death to Israel. They call America Big Satan. They call Israel what? Little Satan. So their intentions, is very clear, And they're not just doing it for no reason. Man, them small hats been terrorizing them over there, man. But anyway, this is prophecy. Right, this is 2 Ezra 15 and 28, getting into war. All right, World War III. So this is what's going on right now between America, Iran, and Israel. This is going to lead to World War III. All right, let's get these prophecies. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 28, and we read, behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. They call it the so-called what? Middle East, right? Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. And don't forget, Ishmael just said that they're going to back Iran up. All right. Arabia is saying they support Iran. And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth. that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, and the Carmanians are the Persians, all right? And the Persians changed his name to Iran in 1935. So it's also the Iranians, right? But I'm going to say it how it's written. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boar of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is America. So in the midst of World War III, you're going to have the Iranians. They're definitely going to be involved. This is what we're seeing right now. And the so-called Arabs are going to get involved as well. And how are they going to waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is America? Well, they're missiles. All right. Right now, hey, they could become a nuclear power in about 2 weeks. And if all hell breaks loose, one of their generals was saying, all right, in 2 weeks, while we're bombing, or if you bomb us, in 2 weeks, we'll be secretly making a nuclear weapon then, like if it goes down. So this has been said already by Iran. All right. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Well, that's the point. And this is really, when it talks about clouds from the east and the north, it's getting into different armies. But the point was in 33. All right. No, not 33. Salakia. 33 is getting into them terrorist attacks, which they're talking about right now, too. They're saying they might be attacks on U.S. soil, and they're talking about sleeper cells, ex-CIA agents, and people who's not ex-CIA agents as well. I don't know their titles, but they members that's sitting in offices and shit. They coming out and saying that sleeper cells is over here in America. All right. There was an old Iranian president that said, we're closer to you than you think. So they blowing the trumpet on that. And they're saying if they attack Iran, though, the sleeper cells might very well get activated. And even got the Taliban saying that they're going to fucking back up Iran. How are they going to do that? They don't got no jets and things of this nature. So how you going to really back them up? It's weird. It's coming all across like a terrorist attack. But anyway, let's get into this video. I'm Salakia for being distracted. Trying to make sure these children don't come up here, man.
Politically trying to, impede with what the president was doing there. This is an Iranian letter to the United Nations Secretary General. In this letter, they say that if Iran is attacked, every base, every facility, and each asset of a hostile force against the Iranian people constitute legitimate targets in the context of Iran's defensive response. Iran says that the United Nations will bear the full and direct responsibility in an unpredictable manner with uncontrollable consequences.
Uncontrollable consequences. Now, what that mean? What does that mean? When you read between the lines, it's like, yo, they gonna do shit that's like, it's gonna fuck shit up for real. This is kind of like, to me, and I'm just speaking as a man, this is giving terrorist attack. This is giving activation of sleeper cells. In a nutshell, he's basically saying that, hey, all hell will break loose. It says, because when you really think about it, you bombing or trying to bomb, other, U.S. bases over there, stationed, in the Middle East. That's doing something, but it ain't doing all like too much. So what else is they're going to do? Well, once again, they've been talking about sleeper cells, man.
Upon instructions of the government, with reference to previous letters that were dated around December and January of last year and this year, The President of the United States in his concerning use of Diego Garcia's military base in connection with a potential military attack against the Islamic Republic of Iran, which constitutes a violation, and I'm summarizing a little bit here, of the Charter of the United Nations and international law, risks the reality of plunging the region into a new cycle of instability and crisis. They note that the President of the USA issued an explicit public threat that there will be military force used against Iran. In this, they quote President Trump as saying, should Iran decide not to make a deal, it may be necessary for the United States to use Diego Garcia and the airfield located at Fairford in order to eradicate a potential attack. Iran continues that given the volatile situation in the region and the persistent movement and buildup of military equipment and assets by the United States of America, and the statements by the President of the United States, there is a real risk of military aggression, the consequences of which will be catastrophic for the region, constituting a grave threat to international peace and stability. They continue on a second page. Iran calls upon the United Nations, consistent with the Council's primary responsibility, to fully utilize the authority of the UN and the offices of the UN to ensure that the United States immediately ceases threats of use of force and complies with obligations under the UN Charter, particularly Charter 2.4.
Yeah, because America's a big bad bully. Like, they're breaking international law, but nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody's holding their feet to the fire. You're not supposed to just go over and kidnap a president and his wife. You see, because you can do it and then take the world's largest oil reserve. Yo, you're not supposed to do it. That can destroy the balance of things. And before you know it, all hell could break loose. Whoever they had to deal with, Venezuela had to deal with, can get pissed off and then start doing things again. It can get real bad. You're not supposed to do that. And everybody gets dragged into it. But America's going around doing that shit. Excuse me. So Iran ain't begging. It's basically saying, hey, look, listen, we don't want to fight, but we fucking will, bro. Don't forget, they saying they'll chop Trump finger off and they bombing everything. They're not backing down from the fight, but they're trying to get Esau to kind of do the right thing. Like, yo, bro, look, tell them to stop. They coming over here trying to do a regime change over here, just like they did and kidnapped the president over there. And then they talking about taking Greenland and shit. Hey, bro, tell these niggas to stop tripping. Hey.
Refraining from any action that further escalates tensions or leads to military confrontation. Guys, down here in the comment box, let me know what you think. I think this is about to be a Vietnam.
Hey, that's right. And America lost that war in Vietnam. But it's about to be war. They're saying it on the news and all of that. They're preparing people for this war. Didn't they say, I think Trump said, prepare for a war, well, if America's ready for it or not? And he said something about this is not going to be like a war or a strategic strike like they did in Venezuela. This is going to be more of like a dragged out, longer type of war. Which that comes with a lot. Once again, sleeper cells, all of that, bro. Terrorist attacks, all of that. So, hey, I'm going to get this precept, which I'm going to do another video and bring the same precept out. But, hey, sometimes the spirit wants you to do it like that, man, to keep, driving a point in. It's kind of like, you screwing something in. You want to keep screwing it in and strip it in. Like, you want that mug to never come out. Sometimes the spirit will have you do that. It'll have you keep hitting the point. Like hitting the point, driving that nail in like, yo. And then, hey, that's your orders, do it. 2nd Ezra 15:33, and we read, and from the land of the Assyrians, it's talking about America, shall the enemy besiege them, talking about, hey, one of these Ishmaelite groups, terrorist groups over there, or one of these sleeper cells. They say there's multiple of them over here, and they've been over here for years living, waiting for their green light, waiting to be activated and consume some of them, right? The terrorist attack is going to kill people here in the United States. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Kings is going to shake America. Bad, man. And it's going to cause for retaliation. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to give this brief news update. So with that, I hope it was edifying. I hope you could take something from it. And with that, shalom.